You're listening to Generation Jones, 1954 to 1964. Conversations with remarkable people who have shaped our world. I'm your host, Wendi Cooper, and I do hope you enjoy the show. Meri Frischman is uber chic over 60. I found her on Instagram at pro.age.style, where her posts are positive and targeted to women of age. Meri's mission is to inspire the pro-aging woman to discover and express herself through fashion. Meri's desire is to create a community where we women can come together to motivate each other to not only age gracefully, but to age boldly, fiercely, and confidently by being true to herself. Meri says the modern active woman wants to be relevant and visible, and even more than that, we want to thrive and grow and evolve. It's the time of life where we can push boundaries with no limits. During her years as a fitness and wellness professional, she began searching the internet for activewear and street styles for workouts to nights out. While doing so, she came to the realization that there were no sites specifically targeted to the stylish, sophisticated urban woman that does not just want to age gracefully, but rather dares to age boldly and fiercely. So she organically became passionate at 66 to scour through various online stores in an effort to locate edgy, chic fashions that could work for the older active woman. That is how Uber Chic 60 came to be. The interesting thing is, her followers are not only the over 60 woman, but the younger woman as well. That has been a beautifully unexpected welcomed surprise and only confirms that her belief that a woman can be uber chic at any age, anywhere, anytime. Her website is a complement to her Instagram, uber.chic.over.60, where all her fabulous followers can find links to products, advice, and styling consultations. Meri Frischman, welcome to Generation Jones.
Hi, Wendi. Thanks for having me today.
You're so welcome. You know, I'm sorry that I might be a little somber, but I am going to try my best because you are one rockin' lady. And I love your energy. I love everything that you're doing. And I just had to have you on the show because I just need, you know what I need to do and I really want to do, and I told you this the other day when I was talking to you, is I want to give a voice to the ladies that are over 50, over 60 on Instagram, because that is exactly who you are.
You know, I totally agree. And that is one reason why I actually started my Instagram page. And I really didn't have any idea of what I was doing.
So tell me about that. I'm really curious because the backstory a little bit is that I started Generation Jones, so I changed everything on my Instagram, which I have 235 followers. I'm going to be honest with you. That's what I have. And then I started to explore. I decided to do this show. I decided to think about this, target this generation of us. And I started to realize, look at all of the activity and the women on Instagram that are over 40, over 50, over 60, chic over 60. I just think it's so awesome. It's awesome.
No, it's been an unbelievable surprise to see how many women in their midlife and beyond are on Instagram. And the best part about it is we're all looking for a commonality to share issues, stories, inspiration. And it's been such an amazing thing for me to, be at this point and at this stage of my life. It's just given me something so rewarding.
So
to look forward to.
I really have to know, because I think you have 11,000 followers or more.
11.4, which is hard for me to even comprehend.
So how long did it take you to get that many followers?
Let's see. I started the page, I would say, around April.
This April?
But yeah, April 2018. And I really put in a lot of work, though, which I think it takes to gather that many followers. And what I did was I hired this 23-year-old Pilates instructor that I work with, and she's been incredible. And she handled the things that I really didn't know anything about. So she would let me roll with my ideas and, what I felt I wanted to do on the page, but she would help me bring it alive. And I think that was another beautiful thing for me was, sharing this with somebody of that generation and
Yeah.
working together to bring it to where it is today.
That's interesting.
Hmm.
My background is in marketing, so I like to pride myself on, okay, I'm going to do it all, right? And at the end
Me
of the day,
too. Me too. I could be a control freak,
yeah,
but you have to let that go because honestly, when I started, I had no idea of the world out there of Instagram.
yeah, it's actually really strong. So I think it's going to be fun. I'm going to find some other ladies that are on Instagram that
Yeah.
are, they have this silver. What's the one? I saw one post the other day, and it was a man and a woman, both with silver hair,
Hmm.
gorgeous. They were
Hmm.
gorgeous, and I think their Instagram is silver.
There's silver sirens. There's a
They're
woman out of New York who's silver disobedience.
It's crazy. It's so
It's
awesome.
it's crazy, and not only just on Instagram. There's this whole community of women and men who are top models now.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
the coolest thing.
Yeah, I think that so here's what I'm thinking. I mean, if I could be a little organic in our conversation, here's
Of
what I'm
course.
thinking because my show is relatively new and because I am in branding and marketing, it's like, okay, what really is my point? What is my point? And I think after having the conversation with you the other day, who I now I don't know Meri. I only know Meri because I found her on Instagram. I asked her to be on the show. And then I had to have a conversation with her the other day because I had to make sure like she could speak, I mean, I asked somebody to be on the show and I didn't even know if they knew how to form a sentence or not. I mean, I'm not being mean, but it has happened in the past.
And
Okay.
we talked for about an hour.
We did. And we laughed. And we were just like, all of a sudden, like these two people that we really connected. Let's just put it
Yes.
that way. So
Yeah.
that got me thinking. And that got me thinking about, women on Instagram. All of this activity is happening, right? And typically they have a blog. Do you have a blog? You have a blog, right? Or no?
Yeah, well, I have my website that we're actually just starting to do a lot of that work on.
Okay. Excuse me. So a lot of these women have blogs, and so they're driving traffic from Instagram onto their blog site,
Right.
right? But they're also endorsing products and probably
Right.
getting paid for their influence by sponsors and things like
That's
that.
right. Hmm.
But at the end of the day, all it really is pictures. It's pictures, inspiration, photographs, written word, right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
maybe products, but it's not a voice. It's not a true voice. Like we're listening to you today. We're not looking at you in a picture, right?
Hmm.
We're
Right.
listening to who you really are. So I think that that's going to be really cool for me to focus on men and women and give them a voice that are in this Instagram world. I mean,
I think that's a fantastic idea because a lot of the connection, I think, even through Instagram, is to give our generation a voice.
and
So that seems to be the way that we were going about it. But if you can bring the voice to real life,
right.
I mean, I think that would be amazing.
Right,
What a great idea.
exactly. And Generation Jones is targeting generations, right? So it's really my tagline is conversations with remarkable people who shape our world. So that's
Hmm.
very nebulous, right? It's very like it's targeted, but it's broad. So I
Very, yeah.
can transition the show into anything that I want, and targeting us. I love talking about this stuff. I really do. Okay, so one of the questions that I do want to ask you, I want you to define for everybody. You say, I have it right here, and I like that I wanted to ask you this question. What's the difference between aging gracefully and aging boldly?
Okay. So to me, and I hear that term very often, aging gracefully. Although now I am hearing the term aging boldly, taking over that. And to me, aging gracefully is sort of the old way of looking, to think about aging, because it has the connotation of just acceptance of retirement, acceptance of not being relevant, acceptance of invisibility. And I think there's so many interesting, powerful women. We'll just talk about women because that's mainly who I deal with. But we want to age actively. We want to age fiercely. We want to, especially for me, I think I want to be who I haven't been up till now, and that was bubbling up inside of me all through these years, and was either afraid of what other people would think or afraid of even just doing it. And now I say, what the hell, just do it. What do you have to lose? So I think for me, that's the difference between just taking it and listening to the rules, the societal rules, and just, going off quietly into the distance, rather than taking control.
It's kind of like you get to a certain age, and for me, I only have so much time left, right? You start to say, you might feel young in your soul or in your spirit or whatever it might be. And we all do this. Like I look and I go, oh, I need to work out, or, oh, and my abs are falling apart, or whatever it might be, and then you in your psyche, I think we think, well, there's always tomorrow. I'm going to be able to do that tomorrow. And then all of a sudden your tomorrows are kind of going, well, I can count how many tomorrows I'm probably going to have. So if I can count my tomorrows, that means that I really only have so much time to do what I really want to do.
Exactly. And I say, part of my thing is, if not now, when?
Right, exactly. And I so feel that way. It's like, okay, damn it. I don't care what anybody says about anything. I mean, I do have people around me that like to shoot me down a little bit. It's like, I'm a Pisces. Mm-hmm. I'm a dreamer, always shooting for the dream, never stopping. Generation Jones is about, we don't really ever give up. We just keep going, right? We just keep going. We're right. 60 is the new 40. Look at us on Instagram. Look at what we're doing. We have to save the world, but at the same time, we really want to, we're still striving for that, for finding that real purpose that we have in life.
I totally believe that way. And another thing that I've come to is, instead of my saying 60 is the new 40, I actually have come to the idea that 60 is actually the new 60. I don't feel 40. I'm sure I don't look 40. I'll never feel 40 again, but I feel fantastic at 66, soon to be 67.
Yeah.
And I think that's how I need to look at that, because if I look in the mirror or if I'm active, I see the difference from when I was 40 till now. So I just want to know that at this stage of my life, I'm trying to fulfill everything that I thought I would or could be, and now feel I can take the plunge and go for it.
I think that's awesome. I totally feel the same way. Your whole thing is fitness and fashion, right?
Right.
Fitness and fashion. So let's talk about that, because I think that's why I contacted you. I thought that was so cool. I'm always, even though I'm not working out, I'm always in fitness type clothes. And your thing was that you wanted to make sure that women could kind of go from the office or from day into night.
Absolutely. And studio to street. So my lifestyle was pretty much working out since I'm 47. And I honestly was just too lazy to change all the time. So I found a way, and I think this is happening in a lot of urban areas where the women are working out and then popping on booties or boots or whatever shoes they're comfortable in, and throwing on sweaters and coats and vests and, something just sort of to cover your butt a little bit, and just going to lunch through the day and even dinner.
You know what? You just described me.
Right, me too.
I'm telling you, I got a couple of pair of these pants, and they're awesome. I can wear them to work. I can wear them out at night. I can wear them to work out. I can wear them to go spinning. It was like, this is crazy, and it's like my uniform.
Exactly, and it is a uniform now, and really I see it everywhere. So I think that revolution has already started, and more prevalent everywhere I go. People used to ask me, "How could you just wear the activewear all day long?" Oh my God, put on jeans.
Yeah, yeah.
And now leggings are the new jeans.
Yeah, how could you not wear it? I mean, when I put jeans on, I'm like so uncomfortable. And then I have all these beautiful clothes in my closet, that I could wear to work. But
Right.
I can get away with wearing my leggings that I just went and did yoga in, and go home and, it's like I'm not really sweating when I jump in the shower.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
and then you go. And you're always looking, of course, it's the way you accessorize, though, too.
Absolutely. So that's what I was going to say too. So to bring it up a little bit, if you're going out in the evening, you could throw on a cool belt, a cool necklace, a bracelet, something that makes you feel comfortable for the evening.
So is that part of your pro-aging, campaign? Your
Yes.
message is that, pro-aging is so important.
So important. And I feel that style is a reflection of the woman. So whoever she is on the inside should be represented on the outside. Whatever makes her feel good, who has the right to tell her any differently? And that's the way I feel. So why not? Why not let her do it and uplift her, instead of dragging her down and saying, "Oh my God, how could you wear that?"
Right, you're too
She's
old. You can't
comfortable.
have a
You're
high
too old.
ponytail. Yeah.
Exactly. I don't believe in that. In fact, there's one woman on Instagram. She is in her 50s. She has the greatest high ponytail. I'm always telling her she has the greatest hair. It's very cool. Why shouldn't she be able to do that?
Yeah, I'm 63, and it's funny because I always wear my hair up typically, and when I wear my hair down, people literally will not recognize me. That's how long and I have long hair, and I'll wear it down sometimes, but it bothers the crap out of me. But I won't have it short. There's no way, because if I I seriously think if I cut my hair off, I cut my youth off. It's the weirdest thing.
Yep. It's not weird. I feel that way, and my friends feel that way as well.
Yeah.
And yet, when I wear my hair up, people say I look better.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing wearing your hair up.
Right.
It gives you that height on the crown, where when you have short hair, you do not have that height on the crown. So it not necessarily means that you will look good in short hair, because
That's so true.
I think about when my mother always had short hair, and she would have to go to the beauty parlor every week. Right?
Right. And with all the spray, and the hair lasted for the week.
Yes, and the hair lasted a week. She would take toilet paper and wrap it around her head, right? To keep her hair in place.
Right. To sleep on. That's so funny.
Yes. Yeah.
But in those days, I remember hearing this even when I turned 40. It was, okay, you have to cut your hair now because you're turning
That's right.
40.
Yeah.
And we just all didn't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you. When I was talking to you on the phone the other day, we were talking about how after a certain age we become invisible. And I wanted to talk about that because I gave you an example of Kathy Smith, who is she's probably in her later 60s now. She was a well-known fitness person, celebrity. And she said to me one day when I was turning 50, I think. And she said, and I was telling you, that she said, "Well, you're going to have to go buy a yellow slicker raincoat." And I looked at her like Ari's looking at me right now, like, what? You know?
Right.
And she said, because when you become 50, you become invisible. And you know what? You do. You don't.
You can.
Yes, you can.
You can. But now what I've realized is you have a choice. And I don't think a few years back women would feel that way. But you have a choice, and it's a mindset. So my thing is, don't allow yourself to become invisible. I mean, if you're feeling that your looks are fading, which, I'm sure mine have, or the body changes, let's find another way to stay visible. And I think for me, the Instagram page is my way. So I remember Beverly Johnson was on Oprah maybe 15 years ago. And she was talking about this and how she didn't know what to do after 50 because everything was based around her beauty.
Yeah.
And she said, so I realized I had to switch my mindset and be something else.
Yeah.
And do something else and be okay with that. Yeah. So I think that always stuck in my head. And I think it's something that we women need to understand and live by and know that we have a choice. I think choice in life is huge. And if we don't want to be invisible, do something to be visible. You want to stay relevant, do something to stay relevant. I've been doing this project celebrating the pro-age woman with my friend and photographer, Susie Lang, at Women 60 Plus. And she and I did one yesterday. And every woman that gets involved in it, which is where we photograph them to show that they could still be relevant and look cool and be cool, every woman so far has said, oh my God, thank you so much. This has been such a fantastic opportunity. We feel involved. We feel part of what's happening in the world. They've really been thankful to us, and I'm thankful to them for allowing me to share them, on Instagram. So there's that community of we women, we pro-age women, who want to connect, to be uplifted, and to share successes and stories and issues and, how do we go from here? And it's just been a beautiful thing for me to see, honestly.
I'm so excited about it. I mean, I deal with a lot of things with my age. I really personally, I totally deal with it. It's like, I don't necessarily like the fact that I'm getting older. And part of the reason I'm doing this show is because I want to embrace my age. I want to embrace my wisdom. I want to share my wisdom. I want to share your wisdom. I feel as though I have so much to give. And personally, I need to have a platform to do that. It's just, I'm an empath, right? It's hard for me to sit here today because so many of my friends are losing everything around them. But we're at a place where no one is expecting all of us to become this tribe of people that are really, we are the most influential group. Right. Demographic of people there's 50 million of us, right? And we are strong, right. And we are powerful, and we are beautiful, and we are handsome, and we need to have that voice. I changed my website. I said, let's make a little noise, because that's what we want to do, is we want to make some noise, and we want to be heard because we have so much to offer.
As you're speaking, I'm thinking about, when I look in the mirror, and we might have mentioned this before, but, we all go through those challenges. It's like, oh my God, like we have to look twice and say, is that me?
Yes.
What's happening?
Yeah. Especially when you walk up to your car and you look you go to unlock the car, or you go to get in the car, and you see that horrible reflection that shows every single line and wrinkle you can possibly have, and magnified 20 times, because when you get in the car, you sit down, you look in the rearview mirror, and you say, wait a minute, I don't look like that.
Right. And what about when you're trying to take a selfie and you look in phone. Oh my God.
Or when you're sitting there and you go like this. This happens to me all the time. I sit there because the worst angle is when you're looking down at something, right? And
Right.
I open my phone and then I go on Instagram, but it opens looking at me. And I
Yes.
just go, that's not
Yes.
true. I need to go look at a really pretty picture of me now because that's not true.
It's so scary, isn't it?
But you know what, Mary? It happens to everybody. It's
I
everybody.
know. That's
Yeah.
my point. Even though I may be, posting these inspirational concepts and fabulous women, I mean, I go through the same thing everybody goes through. And honestly, I think that's probably why I started the Instagram page, was to share my issues, what I was going through, what I thought, the next few years would be like. And the thought of just surviving like that scared me.
Yeah.
So I think that's what prompted me to pick up the phone, because I use the phone, and start the Instagram page.
When I come back, we're going to talk more about Instagram and about what Mary's up to. So, Mary, stand by and we will be right back.
Okie doke.
You're listening to Generation Jones, 1954 to 1964. Conversations with remarkable people who shaped our world. Make sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. I'm here with Meri Frischman today, and we're talking about Instagram and how the women over 60, actually, and even over 50, are blowing up Instagram. It's remarkable, it's wonderful, and it's a great story. So welcome back, Meri. Okay, Meri, before the break, we were talking about why you started the Instagram and how there's this real voice to be heard by people of, our age. And basically, I would say 54 to 68, 70, but mostly still, I think staying in, when you kind of get to that 70, I hate to even say it. It's like, that's my nightmare. That's my nightmare number.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I know 60 was my nightmare. 70 is even worse.
70s, like in the mornings, I always had this joke, right? It's like on my 50th birthday, 55th birthday, we had a little party, and I was 5 years till 60, right? And then and now on this last birthday, I was 7 years to 70. No, it was my 54th birthday, 6 years to 60. And then I was like, my 63, it was like 7 years to 70. and it's like, I wake up every morning thinking to myself, I got 7 years to 70.
Well, I only have 3 years to 70, so you can only imagine how I'm feeling. And actually, 59 was bad for me. 60 was okay because I had adjusted within the year. But now 69 to 70, I can't even imagine what
I know.
I don't even know what that's going to look like.
I know. But this is what drives our passion, right? This is what drives our passion to remain relevant.
Absolutely.
Right? To be
absolutely
to be strong.
Absolutely. And who knows where the next 3 years are going to lead.
That's right.
I mean, it's already led me to places I had no idea.
I think we need to just come together and take over Instagram, show those damn millennials what it is about.
I think that's happening already with our wisdom.
I mean, there's 50 million of us. We could easily, if we really came together and we really, had a strong voice, we could finally basically put them all in their place and say, stop living with your parents. Go out and try to work hard.
What's really interesting to me is how many of us are out there on Instagram.
Yes.
It was shocking.
Yeah.
It was shocking. And from all over the world.
Yeah. There's a lot of them. Germany, there's this one beautiful gal that I'm not sure what but I'll put it in show notes and stuff. But there's this one beautiful gal. She's in Germany, I believe, and she might even be a fashion model, right? But she posts these gorgeous photos all the time of her, of what she's doing. And I think they're professional photos. I mean, I hate to say it, but like I would like to be living
Yes.
that life if that's her life.
Yeah. Yes, there are a lot of professional models though, and they do post on Instagram. And people, women like seeing those, and they are inspirational, but they also love seeing, the wrinkles, the signs of aging. I do get some responses where it's like, oh my God, thank you. Like you don't edit everything out and you don't airbrush everything, and which I can't because that's it. This is who I am. So they want to see everything. They want to see real, and they want to see these beautiful women as well. I do find that, and I really don't know how to say this, but there is a difference between 50s and 60s.
Yeah, you talked about that
Yeah,
the other day. Would
yeah.
you talk about that for our audience? I thought it was interesting.
Yes, yes. I mean, looking back, and I was just actually speaking to a friend about this. In your 50s, you think, oh my God, we're so old. But now that I see what 10 years has brought, the energy level changes. I mean, I'm still very active and, still do everything I want to do, but I portion it out a little bit where I didn't do that in my 50s. I would see a few wrinkles, but well, they weren't really too bad. Now there's more wrinkles, there's more eye creases, there's, changes in the body that I didn't see when I was in my 50s. I worked out like crazy then. I played tennis and then went off, and had a great afternoon with my friends. Now I don't do all of that. I have to say, okay, how much can I get done in a day? And I get done a lot, but it's less than it was. So that also, can have a negative take if you allow it. So that's what I'm finding. And that's what I want to share with women, people that are going to hear this, is that you really almost need to take a step back when you have those negative feelings, because they are going to come. Those are just the challenges that we are going to have at this stage of life. But I say, let's challenge those challenges and change those thoughts and bring a more realistic thought, which may move you forward toward a positive direction in your life that you haven't even thought about yet. So,
Well, do you think that we're primarily talking about because as you were talking, I was thinking about the guests I'm going to have coming up. I was thinking about myself and my friends, and I was thinking about the job market and things like that, and the discrimination really about not inclusion. Inclusion and diversity should also include age,
yes.
and I don't think anybody ever talks about that. And I know that it's difficult for a lot of Generation Jones people who are now like 54 to 64. They at times don't really have a retirement. I don't know why that is, but I certainly know that I'm probably riding that line right along with them. I don't know if it's the mentality of, there's always tomorrow, but that what you're really talking about, I feel, is body image, how we feel about ourselves, and as long as we keep a positive self-thought, that's we're overcoming the battle. So talking about the difference between 50 and 60, and for me, it's 50, I still felt extremely successful, extremely vibrant, extremely relevant, extremely at the top of my game, right?
Yes.
And then I got into my 60s, and I still feel that I have this whole world to conquer, but there's certain kind of physical things that are really bothering me more now. Like when I get down, I can't get back up so easy. That's a little embarrassing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying. There's definitely things that are different and are more challenging, and I think some of what we have to do is accept it and then move on from there. And then know that that's the way it's going to be. And listen, it may not get any better.
Well,
as
that's the thing. It's probably not going to get any better. That's
exactly.
my whole comment about, well, there's always tomorrow. Well, hello.
Right.
Tomorrow you're just going to have another wrinkle.
Or a few more wrinkles. But that's it. So if we stay with those thoughts, I think that will inhibit our possibilities. And my whole push is that we try not to inhibit those possibilities, because it's interesting. It is a time that if you believe you can, you might really be able to, because we don't really care as much about what others think of us right now. I mean, we're too tired to think about all of that. And you might dare, if you age boldly and not just gracefully, you might dare to take risks that you would not have before. And you might dare to feel what has bubbled up inside of you for years, but you haven't even taken the first step to try to accomplish. So I think that's been my message. And I'm an idealist to a point, but you still have to accept from where we are coming right now.
Right.
With the things you and I are talking about. And go from there and take the first step. It may be a leap, but you have to just take, like, people will say to me, how did you do it? Or, can you help me with my page? And of course, yes, I'm very willing to share, and I want you to be successful in whatever it is you're doing. That's the beauty of now also. Hopefully we're not competitive, which could have happened years and years ago, but I don't want to be competitive with my peers. I want to uplift and share and help and educate, or whatever, they
Right.
need me to be for them.
Right.
So I say, I needed somebody to help me. Don't be afraid to ask somebody to help you. But you still have to feel what feels right to you. Take that passion and take that first step. Because if I didn't take the first step, and if I just kept saying to myself, oh, you can't do it, oh, it's too much, oh, I'm too old, I never would have reached 11.4K followers, which I can't even believe that I've reached.
What was your tipping point?
Where the followers kept growing?
No, what was your tipping point for even starting on Instagram?
My tipping point, honestly, which I haven't really shared, and I think we talked about this the other day, was I began to have health issues.
Mm-hmm.
And after about a year of coming around, I thought, okay, I can either, again, choose to lay in bed, which, believe me, sometimes I just wanted to pull the covers over my head and just, ignore what I had gone through,
Right.
or do something to really make me feel better. And I don't know. I mean, I just think the thought of not being who I always felt I could be, or not becoming my best self, or
Or
maybe
being
it's
faced
like you
with your
said.
own mortality. A lot of
I was just
times,
going to say,
yeah.
yep. Mm-hmm. I
A
was
lot
just
of
going to
times
say
that's the
that.
catalyst for
Mm-hmm.
people is, you get sick, and we were talking because Mary's had her health issues, and then I shared my health issues that I had. It was 13 years ago, but it was the extreme changing point in my life. Where I basically just decided to celebrate every day, right? Because maybe,
Right.
and even if you're bald and fat from chemo, like I was, and I had my breast cut off, all of these things that I went through, they took every single thing that was female from my body, and then
Right.
I'm supposed to recover from that and basically say, okay, I'm a whole woman. Well, you don't ever feel like a whole woman again.
Right.
You
Right.
don't.
Mhm.
You don't sexually, sensually, or in other ways. So that's another reason for my hair being long, by the way.
Right. Right. I can understand that. Right.
Oh my God. It was the worst thing in the world was being bald. It was worse than
Oh
anything
God.
else that has ever happened to me in my life.
That would be for me too. Oh my God. I can't even think about that.
Everybody says, "Oh, but you can just put a wig on, Wendy." And yeah, I
Uh,
had an awesome wig that looked just like the hair that I had before I lost it all. But
right.
I still had to take that wig off, you
Right. Oh
know,
my God.
and
I
look at
know the thought of
myself,
that.
right? And the thing with chemo is you have no eyelashes, you have no
Yeah.
eyebrows, you have no body hair whatsoever. The hair underneath my arms never grew back. That was a good thing. Um,
So what
Go ahead.
pulled you up from there?
Well, actually, honestly, when thought I was dying, I'm laying in bed. There's a story online written on positivelypositive.com about this, and then it's also written in the book Epiphany by Elise Ballard. But I was laying in bed, and I thought I can't do this. My mom is dying. You know, my mom was pretty much kind of
Mhm.
dying of her cancer, and I'm going through my chemo treatments, and middle of the night. I hear this voice, like clear as day. I could hear it right now sitting here. And this voice I heard to my left said to me, "You're going to be all right."
Mhm.
And I sat up and I looked. I didn't see anybody. And I heard it again. And I got up. That was right at the point. That was my lowest point. I was saying to myself, I can't do this. I cannot do this. I don't want to live. I can't do this. And I heard that voice. I got up. I walked into the bathroom and I came back. I laid down. The next day, I felt relatively pretty good. You know, I wasn't so sick. And then
Mhm.
I went on to have more chemo treatments and become terribly ill and all that.
Oh,
But
God.
going through hearing that voice, I just somehow in my soul, I knew I was going to be okay. At least I was going to get through that challenge in my life, right? But you know, I'm the ultimate like optimist. It's like my life can be going down the toilet, and I still know there's tomorrow. That's all I can say.
Right. I have some of that also, but fortunately we do.
Yeah, so you know, life's challenges are tough, just like the challenges that that everyone is facing here in Los Angeles on this really sad day. But we all bounce back, and we have to just believe in ourselves at the end of the day. And I think what you're doing, and what all of the women out there and men out there on Instagram are doing by spreading their by being boldly, aging boldly, and we're in your face. We're going to continue to be in your face, and we're going to seriously make some noise about it. And I am so excited about this because this is really something. Somebody needs to give a voice to this generation of people that are freaking awesome.
I totally agree. And that voice will come out of what you're doing. And I love that.
And you know, my show was once again sent from I don't want to say the universe. I learned on one show I'm not supposed to say the universe, but was sent from God, whoever you want to call
Hmm.
it, whatever
Hmm.
you want to call it, or
Hmm.
believe it is. It was
Yep.
also sent to me to do this show. So it's just kind
And I
of
feel the same way about, my Instagram page. That's so interesting you say that.
I think that what you're doing is awesome. I think that what everybody out there is doing is awesome. I hope your followers will listen because I love when we have an opportunity to just chat with the real person behind the visual effects.
Oh, absolutely. I think you have such a great avenue to allow us the voice, the actual voice. And it does make a difference. That absolutely does make a difference. So, I mean, hats off to you. And, hopefully we'll work together again.
Well, hopefully we'll work together again. Are you kidding? I think we're going to be lifelong friends now. At least I
I
hope so.
totally agree.
Th-
Love that.
There's
Totally
there's there's
agree.
no running from me now. I'm going to know everything because because I'm following
running
you.
running to you, not from you.
There you go. There you go. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show today, and thank you for taking the time, Meri Frischman.
You're welcome. And it was really great. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Bye, Wendy.
I'd like to thank Tom at Orsi Digital Media for his support of the show and his wonderful sound design. I'd also like to thank Skylar Billish for his original score that I adore. Make sure to subscribe everywhere you get your podcasts and listen at 7:30 a.m. on Monday mornings on UBN Radio. Thanks for listening.